Welcome to the Spookysode. For the first half of this, the audio, you might notice, is a little weird in some spots. We're working on it. Also, because this is a Spookysode, there may be some triggers present that aren't typically in our normal stuff. So sit back, relax, and get ready to get spooked. You know what's really spooky? No. Having a headache and neither of us have eaten. Hey, I hate that.
Are y'all ready to get your ding dong spooked off? Yeah, we're gonna look at your ding dong. At some point, you're gonna lose it in this episode.
Pick up your dingle dangle.
Pick up your bing bong off the floor. Wabah, send us your bing bong. Please don't.
Don't let your dingle dangle dingle in the dirt. Pick up your dingle dangle. Might get hurt.
Is that a problem for anyone?
That is some lyrics from a cadence that I used to sing in the army.
Did you let your dingle dangle drag in the dirt?
Not generally.
Good. Good for you. Well, let me bring up my notes.
I'm so excited to talk about this. I was shrieking to Ken this morning about it.
We have our Spookysode number. I don't know. Look at the title. And
use context clues.
What are we talking? Tell me what you're doing today.
The Hope Diamond. Because somebody said, you want to do haunted jewelry because you make jewelry. And I'm like, that's a good fucking idea.
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
So I don't remember who that was, but thank you.
That's a wonderful idea. Could you offer a service where you haunt the jewelry before you send it?
Probably not.
I would take it. I feel like I could.
Okay. Maybe we can
make the jewelry.
That can be a collab.
Send it to me.
You'll inhabit it.
I'll put a ghost in it and then send it out. Would anybody be into that? I'm talking to you about death omens.
I don't like it. God, are you going to talk about those weird hair things that people find in their pillows?
I think so.
That
I want to talk about that.
The worst. That skeeves me so bad.
I do have something to do with hair, but I don't think it's
okay.
That's not quite. Okay, so I think we should flip a spooky coin to decide who goes first.
Do you have that?
Okay. I have this spooky cork of a candle top. Ooh, do you want the fire warning side? Ooh.
Hell yes.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
That means I'm going first, or that means I get to choose who goes first?
Either or, baby. That would mean you win, and you can do whatever you want. That I didn't count, because it dropped.
Are you kidding? Okay.
Would you like me to do it to where you can see?
No.
So you don't think I'm not.
Too
I swear I'm not
complicated.
cheating. I did the good old flip, catch, and then slam it down, and whatever
I heard it
side was
slam
up.
like Pogs.
Miss those. Actually, I don't, but I remember them.
Yeah, I never played with them.
I did,
or whatever
for a
you
bit.
did with them. Like, were they
I
something you played with?
You just had them. There was an actual game that you could play. I didn't know what it was. I just was like, look at that one. It's cute. It's got Sonic the Hedgehog on it.
I remember the only reason I know there's a one called a Slammer is because I saw one on eBay recently.
Slammer. Dude,
but I don't know what I have no idea how that works. Anyway, you want to hear about a diamond?
I do. And listen, I have special interest in this diamond because it's somehow connected to the movie Titanic. Do you remember when Billy Zane gives Kate Winslet her Heart of the Ocean?
Yes.
They mention
That
the
movie
Hope
just
Diamond in that scene.
has
I think
trauma
they say
for
that
me.
hers is. Pause. Hold on. Is it the Billy Zane or the what part?
It's the Titanic as a whole, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dude, we should have a Titanic episode.
Oh my God.
What did you just have to physically grab onto to
Wall.
stable your body?
It's the wall right here. I don't think I can, bro.
Oh, dude, it was such a special interest for me as a kid. I was obsessed.
I bet you weren't as obsessed as my first husband.
Interesting.
Did
you
was
get a Hope,
for the
a Hope
first
Diamond?
couple months.
And then it's, please don't tell me about the goddamn Titanic anymore. Waba, please stop talking about the Titanic.
Shirt. Shirt. And it's going to be the sinking Titanic with the no symbol and then that underneath.
Waba, please stop talking about the Titanic. And I'm going to wear it ironically because I will never. I would like to talk about the Titanic.
And then after that, the movie trauma with that dude who was crying the whole time. I'm done with the Titanic for the rest of my life.
I'm not laughing at the situation. Things make people cry, but I'm laughing that it's also specific to the Titanic. Very strange. Okay, tell me about the Hope Diamond, and
Okay.
I will not mention Titanic or Billy Zane.
Probably.
Maybe Billy Zane.
Icebergs.
Oh.
Okay, so maybe people don't know this about me because I guess there are still people who don't know who I am. Maybe go
Introduce
back and
yourself.
listen to that episode where I introduced myself.
No. Start this episode with introducing yourself. Go, now.
Hi, I'm your internet granddad.
Yeah. If you're only listening to the Spookysodes and you're like, where's Macy? Macy turned into Kim. Don't worry about it.
Fine.
Woke up one day and you were a whole different person.
Anyway, somebody recommended
Yes.
to me that I do haunted or cursed jewelry, and I was like, that's a really cool idea. So thank you, whoever that was. I don't remember who it was, but good idea. Thank you for it.
Let us know.
Yeah, shout it out.
Yeah, scream it.
I'll talk about that later. We got that email from somebody.
Yes.
Mystic South, and I was like, oh, I do remember you.
Also, that email was just funny in general. That it was a really funny email.
Well,
Thank you for that.
it made me feel very more secure about being the weirdo in the back of the room.
Standing there.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yes.
the Hope Diamond is thought to have come from the Kalor mine in Golconda, India in the 1600s.
Looking at it. Whoa.
And Jean-Baptiste Tavernier came across it. And he brought it to Paris and sold it to Louis XIV, the Sun King. And he was rewarded with an entire fucking barony in Switzerland. So he's a baron now. Baron Tavernier.
Dude, can you just pick your own nickname like that? Maybe there's meaning behind the Sun King, but
Oh.
it feels like he was just up late one night like, you know, it would be tight.
That would be fun. Like if you switch schools, you could do it. Yeah, they
Show up
call
and be
me
Yeah.
Butch.
They call me the...
That was my dad's name.
And you said Butch?
My dad's nickname was Butch.
Butch. The word butch is nice to say. Makes me think of a butcher, which I realize is not special. Go on.
So the stone was 112 3/16 carat,
Or if you believe Bernard Morel, who wrote The French Crown Jewels, the 112 was in quote-unquote old French carats. And in current measurements, it was actually more than 115 carats.
Sure.
And at this point, it was known as the Tavernier Blue. It wasn't called the Hope Diamond yet. King Louis decided to have it cut down to 67 1/8 carat. This version was called the French Blue. Same stone, just a different shape. He cut it into like a little triangle. If you look it up, it's really pretty. And he mounted it on a tie pin, a cravat pin, which are those weird puffy things that dudes used to wear. And he just kept it in a curio cabinet, or he would just have it so he could wave it around and be, look at my giant fucking diamond. I'm the king, bitch.
Dude, I would
Look
too.
how I'm the sun king, bitch. Look how big his diamond is. What? Then he died at Versailles. He died of gangrene at 77. No, thank you.
Gangrene. That seems like a particularly awful way to go.
So, yeah, it's cool that you got to be a king and that you lived to be 77, but then you died of gangrene, which probably sucked and hurt a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm calling that bad luck number 1.
He is a symbol of absolutism. He is a symbol of the age of absolutism in Europe for styling himself as the Sun King. So yes, I guess he assumed
Was he a Leo?
that name.
If
Born
anybody's
5th
going
of
to do
September.
it, if anybody, okay. I think that's one of my niece's birthdays.
There's got to be a Leo placement somewhere in there. 5th of September is a Virgo.
That's my niece's birthday.
Happy birthday.
The one you have interacted with.
Yes. Almost. Almost time.
And then
Sit down, Virgos. Wait your turn.
it got passed down to Louis XV. And it was set in this, in my opinion, gaudy piece called the Great Golden Fleece. And it was mounted along with a red spinel carved into a shape of a red dragon called the Côte de Bretagne.
Well, yeah, that's
and so
ugly
it
as
was
hell.
the red thing up top and then the Hope Diamond or the French Blue. And then this yellow painted diamond thing that looked like the Golden Fleece from, what is it, Hercules? Whoever the fuck.
It's ugly. I mean, it's structurally, like, it's interesting, like the carved red thing, like it's the pieces of it, some are beautiful, but altogether it looks like
it's a lot.
Yeah.
So then he dies. However, I don't know how. He just died, didn't write it down. He homie died, the 15th. Louis the 16th became king. 16th married Marie Antoinette. The French revolutionaries didn't like the idea of the Richies having a fucking priceless diamond on a stick to wave around, while they're told to just eat a tortilla and a piece of chicken and maybe some broccoli, if you catch my drift.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, cake.
Oops, that was a weird way to say cake.
And so the French government wanted to show the people, in finger quotes, that they weren't going to let the king just buy their freedom with diamonds and gems. So the government took that stone and the gems and put them on display, but didn't put very much security on it. So in September of 1592, someone stole it.
Yeah.
So they stole that piece called the Great Golden Fleece with the spinel and the Hope Diamond and the golden thing. And some of the other pieces were found later and returned to the French government. Louis and Marie got their heads removed. And while there are no documented cases of them wearing the diamond, Mr. and Mrs. Let Them Eat Cake did technically own it. So bad luck number 2 is getting murdered by revolutionaries.
And bad luck for them.
Okay, so remember I said it got stolen. Cadet Guillot, who had the Côte de Bretagne and may have also had the French Blue, ended up giving it to another thief, who then put Guillot the thief, in debtor's prison. And the French blue was not found or returned. So debtor's prison, bad luck number 3.
That's where I'm going to go. Oh my God.
So 20 years after that, and 2 days after the statute of limitations on crimes that occurred during the French Revolution was up, the diamond popped back up again. 2 days after that, so they can no longer be processed for it.
Here it is. I found it.
Yeah. 2 days later, oh, look, wow, it was in my closet the whole time.
I would have looked earlier.
But I would have gotten, arrested. It popped up in London. So sometime between 1792 and 1812, the diamond was recut to be the 45-carat Hope diamond as we know it today. The stone cutter who did the work was named Wilhelm Thals, while Wilhelm was murdered by his son, who then stole the diamond and later committed suicide. So bad luck number 4, getting murdered, and bad luck number 5 is committing suicide.
There's officially, 5 deaths around this guy?
This is, yeah.
Hell yeah. At this point?
I think it's 5, yeah. So then it came to the Hopes, where the name comes from. Henry Philip Hope was a gem collector. It was a super rich banking family. They were related to the Baring family, and the Baring family loaned the money to Thomas Jefferson to buy Louisiana for the Louisiana Purchase. And the diamond...
I was not expecting Tom J to...
I know.
Pop up here.
Who knew?
All right.
So then... The diamond was inherited, passed down through the Hope family until 1901. And the last Hope alive was a woman named Henrietta. She married someone named Henry Pelham Clinton, and Henrietta's mom thought he was kind of a douchebag. Wait. Henrietta's mom, Anne, thought Henry Pelham Clinton was kind of a douchebag and didn't want him to blow the Hope fortune. She said that Henrietta's son, Francis, could inherit if he changed his name to Hope once he hit adulthood, and he's never allowed to sell any of the Hope stuff. He can only pass it down to his kids.
So that's Lord Francis Hope here.
I think so.
Okay.
So Francis, old Frankie boy, met a singer named May, who ended up wearing the diamond pretty often, and they ended up living living beyond their means. That ended up causing problems in the marriage. She, RUNNOFT, with another dude. Francis got real sad, ended up losing his foot in a hunting accident, and went bankrupt, and then got a divorce.
Okay, so add losing your foot in a hunting accident, going bankrupt, divorce.
Yes. He finally got the diamond back, but he had to sell it because he was bankrupt.
And had one foot.
Yeah.
I guess.
And was sold to diamond merchants and went through a bunch of diamond merchants' hands. None of them could sell it because they were in a recession. And every diamond merchant who owned it went broke.
This diamond does not like you.
It doesn't like people. And a Smithsonian a specialist who worked with the Smithsonian, or a specialist on the diamond who was talking to the Smithsonian, said that the London Times published a made-up story about the gem and its bad luck. They told the story that it was stolen from a Hindu temple. It was one of the eyes in a statue of a Hindu goddess, Sita, and priests of the goddess allegedly cursed the owner of the missing gem.
'Cause foreign stuff is scary. Ooh, yeah. Okay, great.
Here's a couple more alleged stories. Hope sold the diamond to a French baker named Collet, who went crazy and committed suicide. Then it was sold to a Russian prince who gave it to his lover, who was an actor. The actor wore it, was shot to death on stage that night by someone in the audience. And then the prince himself got stabbed to death by revolutionaries.
Again with the revolutionaries. Huh.
So in 1908, the Washington Post published a story about the cursed diamond. The same year, the diamond was sold to a Greek jeweler named Mancarides. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I don't speak Greek. The night the sale was finalized, Mancarides accidentally drove himself, his wife, and his kid off a cliff and died.
This is all starting
Isn't it
to add up.
wild?
I don't
I've
trust
lost
this
track
thing.
of how many bad looks that is.
I don't
That's a lot.
add driving yourself and your family off a cliff to the list. Okay.
Okay, it was then sold to a sultan in Turkey. The person handling the sale for the sultan died in the sinking of a French steamer. The sultan gave the diamond to his favorite side chick, who was then stabbed to death in an attempt to steal the stone. The thief was tortured and hung. Another guy was who was in charge of polishing the stone, which, what kind of job is that? I would do that.
I'll take that job, dude.
Was accused of helping him, so he was also tortured and hung. And then the Sultan himself was overthrown in rebellion and, quote, slowly strangled.
Oh, God. I didn't know there were speed settings for strangling. Whoa. Does that mean you're strangled and then they like ease up for a minute, let you breathe, and then go back?
Mm-hmm. Like, actually, it was just somebody they were banging and it didn't go well.
Oops.
Finally, it ended up getting sold to Cartier, the big diamond, the French jeweler that everybody knows the name Cartier. Also, I have a side note about that one, too, because the first dude who ever proposed to me, after we split up, ended up dating a Cartier, which blew my mind.
Whoa. Did he get the Hope Diamond?
He's still alive, so I don't think so.
Okay. Has he driven himself and everyone else off a cliff? Okay.
Nobody did lose me, so bad luck to him.
Bad luck, Chuck, baby. Add that.
So the Cartiers reset the
Fumbling
stone.
the grandpa. All right.
Reset the stone, sold it to a guy named McLean, who actually owned the Washington Post. And the singer wife of Francis, that guy who had bad luck before, McLean's mom, and the First Lady, Florence Harding, all said, don't buy this diamond. It's cursed.
Yeah.
But he still got it anyway.
People are starting to catch on. Yeah.
They had it blessed by a priest, and there was a clause in the purchase stating, should any fatality occur to the family of Edward B. McLean within 6 months, the Hope Diamond is agreed to be exchanged for jewelry of equal value.
Wow. Well, that's smart. Somebody used their noggin on that.
Well, kinda.
Okay.
Despite the blessing from the priest.
Mm-hmm.
Shortly after, Evelyn, who is McLean's wife, got the diamond. Her mother-in-law died, Eddie's mom, Edward McLean's mom. Her young son ran in front of a car, was hit by the car, and died. Her husband became such an alcoholic that he went crazy and got committed. Her daughter OD'd on sleeping pills and died, and then she died of pneumonia and in debt.
So they all
kicked
in some way or another were taken out. Whoa, they don't even get their jewelry of equal value.
I know.
So the gem, okay, this curse on this diamond, not only it knows what it knew, dude. Oh, that's sick.
Actually, I don't know if that happened all in 6 months or not, but I don't think it did. I think it waited until after 6 months. So that's why they didn't get any money.
It's out of the clause. Listen, don't let the truth stand in the way of a good story.
After she died, it was sold to Harry Winston, which is another familiar name if you know about jewelry. That's a big diamond merchant. And so Harry Winston sent the gem on trips around the world to be seen at various shows and museums. And he did that to raise money for charity.
Okay. That's cool.
Nobody died. Nothing bad happened. Finally, he donated it to the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian accepted it. It was delivered by a guy named Todd. And after Todd, I don't know if that's his first or last name. I don't remember. I think it's his last name. After he delivered the package, he crashed his truck, shattered his leg, got in another crash, injured his head, lost his wife and dog to untimely deaths, and then part of his house burned down.
Just for delivering it? Dude, Harry
The
got off.
Smithsonian's like, phew, I haven't done anything in a while. Let me fuck this dude up.
Bro, I guess the only person seemingly you got to do charity. That's how you break the.
Well, look, the Smithsonian is apparently immune to this stuff. Nothing bad has happened since. It's now on display at the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History on the second floor, across the rotunda from the insect zoo, which was my personal favorite part of the museum. Which is why I've seen the Hope Diamond a few times, because I would go over and look at it and then go back. Because, ooh, cursed.
Did you drive your family off of a cliff?
Not to my recollection.
That seems sketchy.
Doesn't
to
it?
phrase it that way.
Don't worry about it. Here's another little weird aside that I want to know if anybody out there knows what I'm talking about. When I used to go to DC every summer because my family lived in Arlington. My grandparents lived in Arlington, and I would go hang out there. And so we would go to the Smithsonian a lot. And I remember this giant hall, like exhibition hall, full of wet specimens, like jars of weird wet shit.
Tight.
I looked and looked and looked as a teenager up to now, can never find it. If anybody's my age, do you remember that? Or did my granddad get some kind of special fucking backstage pass because he used to work for the State Department? Because that's the only other thing I can think of. Because then I thought, maybe you're in a different timeline, and I thought, fuck, don't think about that.
Don't say anything, anyone. Just someone say they remember it. Even if you don't.
I can never find that room again. Ever again. I don't know what happened. If it used to be an old thing, like a traveling thing, or if I made it up. You
stumbled into like the personal collection of a serial killer.
Yeah. Anyway, nothing happened to the Smithsonian. Nothing's happening anymore. It's not for sale. It's owned by the state, I guess. I don't know. But like greedy rich people don't have it anymore. So stop killing people.
It's a fat fucking diamond, dude.
If y'all go to DC, take a picture of it. Show us.
It's a fat chunk. Now,
Also,
is it a diamond or
yes,
is it a sapphire?
It's a blue diamond.
Ooh.
And it's not. I was used to cartoons because I for some reason have a vague memory of seeing something about it on Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, those cartoons used to get dark. Okay, so here on the Wikipedia, I'm reading about the diamond itself, and it gets to the touch and feel section, and it says, when the Associated Press reporter Ron Edmonds was allowed by Smithsonian officials to hold the gem in his hands in 2003, he wrote that the first thought that came into his mind was, wow. Full stop. It was described as cool to the touch.
It's a crystal, bro.
Dude, it's
I'm talking
be cool
to him.
touch.
I mean, yeah, it's cool to the touch.
No, yeah.
Also, you're in the freaking museum where it's always cold.
I love that this person is just like, I held it and I was like, whoa.
Is he still alive?
You know what? There is no associated extra information about his untimely death. So maybe he was standing in the Smithsonian, so therefore protected.
I'm not touching that.
I'm not ever touching it. I almost don't want to see it. I mean, I do, but I feel like I would kind of like do one of those, like the movie, the peek through the fingers kind of. Yeah. Wow.
I do remember when I saw it, I was not impressed. Because I thought it was going to be like this, like as big as my
Very
face.
Taurus. I understand what you mean, because like a lot of the times when people are like, And the biggest one of these in recorded history was this many carats. And you're like, whoa. And then you look at it and it's the size of like a quarter.
walnut. Oh, yeah. It's the size of a walnut. I forgot to say that. It's like the size of a walnut. It's small.
It is. It's not like if you on a ring, though.
That would be
That'd be
insane.
tight. Yeah. Listen, who needs the Hope Diamond? Go down to the Spirit Halloween when it pops up once a year and get yourself some chunky ass costume jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Who needs the Hope Diamond when you got plastic?
Or if you want, something that isn't plastic.
See,
Lab-grown
this is-
sapphires are the way to go. Lab-grown sapphires and I think topaz are beautiful.
But you know what's even more beautiful than that? Handcrafted jewelry from an artisan skilled in making jewelry, which then could maybe or maybe not be sent to someone else who instills a ghost into it.
Email us at wbhpodcast@gmail.com for your haunted jewelry.
Someone's gonna be checking your website, like,
Where's
be
the
like, "Do you
haunted
have the
one?"
ghost option? Dude, imagine a little drop-down menu when you buy something. It's like, would you like this item haunted? An additional, whatever we decide to charge.
$700.
Yeah! How much do you think people pay for
Guaranteed to have a ghost.
Ooh, I feel morally weird about this.
You know what, though? You know what somebody
God.
could get?
Haunted? Possessed?
All of that and more at Anahata's Purpose this year.
Hey! Do you think Rachel will appreciate us being like, come to Anahata's, you're gonna get fucking haunted? Dude, that's a selling point for me. I like
Also,
that.
you can get $10 off your ticket with code Church of Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Get your tickets, y'all, because it's next month.
My butthole puckers.
I'm
when you say
so
that.
excited. I'm so
Jesus
excited. I get
Christ.
to see you.
Dude, we get to see each other so much over the next 2 months.
I
I'm
know.
so happy about it. I guess we'll take this little break here in the middle to talk about that. What are we doing? We're getting together next week.
Oh my
And,
God.
we're doing something. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Next weekend, we're doing a fun thing.
No,
we're hanging out with
It's 10 days away.
10 days. Well, yeah.
That is next
We get
weekend.
to hang out with
Fuck.
one Macy Frazier and one Lyra as well. We may or may not be dining like kings at medieval times.
Yeah, and that's going to be my first time at medieval times.
Brother, I am going to flirt with our knight.
I hope
so
we're
hard.
assigned the bad guy.
Me too. Me too. Can I say something? The past 2 times I have been to medieval times, I got the hero, the guy who wins in the end. And I'm bored of that shit. That's some nerd shit. Give me the bad guy.
Do you want me to make us shirts that say Heal Nation?
Yes. Yes, with like a medieval times guy on it. Yeah.
Team Heal.
Dude. And then on the back, it can say like Team Hero, and we can flip the shirt around depending on who wins.
Yeah. But looking like not as happy as the front ones.
Nerd. Okay.
Anyway,
All right.
we're going to
Wow.
be in Dallas.
Yes. For the...
What month is this? August 21st is when I
Everything
get
is-
there.
Yeah. And we are, well, you will hear more about it, I think, probably in the upcoming episodes, but we're going to be doing a little something practical magic related.
If you don't follow
Which-
the Magnolia Street podcast, go check them out right quick.
Yeah, I didn't know if we could say that, but we're doing a thing.
You might be able to come. It is very limited. To get your ticket for your seat, go visit Magnolia Street Podcast and message them and say, hey, I want to do that.
We'll be there.
I'm excited.
And I don't know if there will be snacks, but I want to bring a snack.
Also, somebody from the movie, the person who played
Yes.
Antonia from the first Practical Magic is going to be there. I'm very excited.
And then next month we have, of course, the Anahata's Purpose.
Yes.
And we're doing a little extracurricular stuff on the side. Kim and I having a little road trip, doing other little things, maybe making some spooky content. Who knows? And then in October, I am coming to you in Tucson, Arizona.
I'm so excited to eat with you.
You have no idea. The last time I was in Tucson, Arizona with Macy when we came up for the gym show, I remember the gym show.
Oops.
I remember hanging out and having fun. I remember most the place you took us to dine. And that, what was it? Not empanadas. I always call them empanadas.
They
and it's
are
not the same
empanadas.
thing. Were they empanadas?
Yes.
Oh,
Because
the
it
little
was
empanada joint?
I think Mexican Indian fusion.
Brother.
It was really good.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, there's that. I
That
hope
is
y'all are
October
happy
10th. Come to the Witches
hearing.
Bazaar in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah. We will have that linked, information for that linked below. So if you're in the area, come by and
There
shake
may
our
be a
faces.
live show.
Don't touch my face.
Don't touch me, period. But there's going to be a live show.
I'm open for
Maybe,
occasional hugs.
maybe.
Depending.
Yeah,
We don't know yet about that.
Ask that day.
Or just read body language, you know?
If we don't come out from behind the table, it means no.
If I have my hands up like this, it means I'm sorry, it's nothing personal, but I'm struggling today. Just
Anyway, come see us October 10th.
Anyway.
I'm excited. Trail Dust Town.
fucking sick.
Charlye-
Speaking
Tell me about.
how we're all gonna die.
I guess so.
Because apparently,
But not me. Don't tell me that.
well, okay, true. I do want to say this is in the spirit of funsies. And I am also going to be, hold on, I have all, you know what, I'm just going to start. Let's talk about death. I'm sorry if this is sensitive. I didn't even think about it. I know. But
This is one of
listen,
my things that I don't do
we are-
well with. So it's a good experience for me to
do you
do
want
it
me
in
to
a safe
scrap
place.
it?
No.
Because we could do
This
that.
is a good experience for me
Okay.
because I'm in a safe place with a safe person.
And I want to say a lot of this is folklore in nature. A lot of this is culturally dependent, yada, yada. We are talking about death omens, some superstitions, folklore from different times and different places. And I want to make a quick note that whenever we're talking about something creepy or like, oh, we're like, oh, that's so creepy. We're talking about the experience of the story. We're not directly commenting on anyone's cultural or spiritual
Mm-mm.
practices. Folklore is very regional and super personal. So when I say things like there's a Welsh belief or there's an Appalachian belief, it doesn't mean every Welsh or Appalachian person believes the same thing. There's my little thing about that. So the basic idea, people have spent a lot of time with our lives figuring out what death is and what happens and, trying to figure out if death sends us a little calling card, like, hey, it's about to happen. And so naturally across different folk traditions, there have been, strange lights that happen, or when animals behave oddly, or unexplained noises, dreams, things that can probably generally be explained because now we have science, more or less, but they were tied to this is a warning that someone's gonna die. I guess we've always had science, but also we don't, whatever, fucking science is a different topic. I'm gonna talk about death. So today we're gonna talk about if this happens to us, should we just shake it off or should we heed the warning? Number one.
I thought you
The
meant death, and I was
corpse.
like,
Yeah.
I think you just
when
shake
death
that
comes
off.
for me, I'm just gonna say no thanks.
Nah, dude.
Listen,
Give me like 10
listen, you're
minutes.
doing your job, but I'm just gonna start singing that song from Old Brother Where Art Thou. Oh, death.
That's the one
won't
I
you
want.
spare
That's
me
one of the
over?
songs
Yeah.
I want played at my funeral.
Well, then if they play that, then you'll wake up from death because he would have spared you over for another year. They're thinking with that noodle. Number one, the corpse candle. This is from Welsh folklore. This is from a Welsh fork that I know. So imagine it. You see a mysterious light traveling through the night. Well, Congrats. You or someone you know is about to die. There is this thing called the corpse candle, or possibly the corpse light, which is a mysterious light that is believed to appear before death or even before a funeral. So the Museum Wales has actually preserved oral accounts from people describing family stories about these lights. One woman named Mary Thomas recalled stories about her grandfather seeing corpse candles. He and his daughter saw a strange traveling light along a hedge towards a particular house. And a couple of days later, the woman in that house died. There was also a story about him. Now, it says him like it's the same person, which always makes me raise my ears a little bit. But the same person also said, you know what? I saw a candlelight on my wife's bed before she died. So there's that. The versions.
Can you listen to those on the website?
Oh, the audio. I think they're just like written transcript type.
Shoot.
But maybe I have a friend from Wales, and half the time they talk, I'm just sort of like, you just sound cool, dude. Yeah, you just sound cool, dude. Which, by the way, they are like really fascinated with druid stuff, and I've been like, you want to talk about Welsh druidry on the podcast? Anyway,
Yes.
So the size and color of this light, the speed of which it moves at, is apparently connected to who is going to die. Tiny light, a child. Bigger light, grown up. Slowly moving, perhaps it's a drawn out thing. Very quick, maybe they get hit by a bus. But there just seems to be way too much information about this mysterious light. But so that brings me, I had questions. Would you rather, and this is to you, Kim, and I know your answer already, but to generally to people, would you rather receive an omen that someone is about to die or be completely ignorant to it? Because I think I'm choosing ignorant.
It depends on who it is.
Depends on who it is. If it's me, ignorant, please.
Same. Oh, well, maybe.
Ignorant.
Maybe.
Nah, I don't want to know shit. No. If you saw a weird little light leaving my bedroom or my bunk at Anahata's, would you tell me about it?
Hell yeah.
I wouldn't tell you. You better. I don't think I would. I think it would scare you too much.
That's the good stuff. I don't think it's going to be a corpse light. I think it's going to be a ghost.
We're not, you know why? We're not in Wales. That's why we're safe from that one. You know what? To calm the fear, we're going to go through these and we're going to say why these aren't applicable. And now, if you're in Wales, I'm sorry. That does apply to you. Anyway, number 2. The bird at the window. Anyway, sorry. Look, you know what? I can't make everyone happy, okay? A bird at the window. Now, this is an Appalachian folk belief that I have heard before, and this stretches beyond that, but I have heard it in this context. A bird flies into a window, which is so scary when it happens. Also,
a closed window?
Into or against a window pane.
Okay.
So, at my parents' old place, they had a window that would reflect particularly, and the cardinals, who are aggressive as fuck, they would see a bird and they'd go, "Oh, I'm going to fuck that bird up." So they would fight with it, but it was just their own reflection. So like my mom made little, she with a Sharpie made little angry faces on a piece of paper and stuck them up in the window. So
I did the opposite of that. When I was a little kid, I got a tape recorder, and I would record male cardinals, and then I would put it behind a mirror.
Serial killer.
It works for sparrows too.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Listen, we do stuff when we're kids.
Yeah.
All right. So one recorded superstition says that if the bird flies against the window, there will be a death in the family. Birds, through a lot of cultures, are supernatural messengers because they move between the heavens and the earth, and they've just sort of picked up this smattering of symbolic associations. So I'm going to say that this one doesn't count for us because we're not in Appalachia. And the bird that exists, that is the one that hits the window and it means someone's going to die, it doesn't live here. There was one that said that it does not count if the bird survives. If the bird smashes into the window, if the bird smashes into the window and lives, you're fine.
Doesn't count. Sorry you got a concussion, but see you later. Nobody here's dying.
Get out of here. If it bonks into the window and the window just shakes and the bird flies off, the bird's just stupid. It's not a death omen. And, I will say that in my family, and this is not a specific to my family thing, I'm just saying this is something that we hold. Cardinals, again with the Cardinals, whatever, they're seen as messengers from the other side. So when we see Cardinals, we're like,
heard that.
Hey, a message, Number 3, another bird, the death owl. My next 7 things are just different types of birds, so you know. This is recorded in Appalachian belief, but is also recorded through various folk traditions. So, an owl calls near the house, especially if someone inside it is sick. Owls have been slandered by folklore.
Yeah.
But this is one that, listen, you hear that thing call at dusk, someone will die. You hear that thing call while someone is sick in your house, that person, sorry, they're dying of that sickness. Barn owls also have several folk names, including death owl, ghost owl, church owl. Some of those go hard as fuck, honestly.
Have you heard a barn owl scream angrily?
Yeah, they're so scary.
Terrifying.
Brother?
If you heard that out, if you heard that, you're like, somebody's dying.
Somebody, yeah. Well, that's not what it sounds like.
Sounds like demons. It kind of is.
But it's easy to see why an owl would be associated with that. They come alive at night. They're nocturnal. They're very stealthy flyers, Some of them are just straight up white with these big, enormous eyes. Some of them sound insane as fuck, dude, and it's just scary. So, yeah, it's a ghost now, I guess. What animal do you think just feels spooky and supernatural? Is it an owl?
No.
Because to me, it's like any kind of, bees. A lot of insects feel like they're just not from here.
Frogmouth. I don't remember what the rest of the name is, but the frogmouth bird, they are... a greater pooh-too?
I have to Google that. Hold on. Greater. How do you spell this?
P-O-T-O-O.
P. What is it? P.
P-O.
P-O.
T-O-O.
T-O-O. Ew!
See?
My God, I feel like I've
and I think they sound like demons.
Holy shit. My Google said, did you mean the great potato?
I wish.
All right. Number 4. The howling dog. Again, we're right up here with the Appalachian folk beliefs. A dog begins howling strangely at night. This can be connected to an approaching death. If a dog howls at night for 3 nights in a row, death is approaching.
I've heard that.
Another one says that a dog howling before the moon rises brings death. This one's spooky to me because, sometimes dogs behave differently when someone is sick in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have all these senses and stuff that we don't have. So, I get it. If someone's sick in the house, sick enough to, pass away, the dog starts acting weird for a couple of days, and then someone dies. I see where this one comes from. And be like, how did the dog know? Number 5. The clock starts by itself. This is general American folk tradition, apparently. A clock that hasn't worked forever suddenly starts ticking. There is a superstition out of Virginia that says if a clock has been stopped for a long time and suddenly begins ticking, death is approaching.
Absolutely not. Get out.
There's also some funeral traditions in places where stopping the clocks when someone dies is a thing because it could mark the time of death, but some people say or have grown attached to that practice. And it's kind of a way of saying that time itself should mind its fucking business while we're grieving. But
that's kind of nice.
Which I think is really nice. But if I have a clock that just starts clicking out of nowhere,
throw it away.
I'm obsessed.
Smash it.
Obsessed. I mean, upset. I'm smashing it. Death comes in threes. We've probably heard this one because widespread superstition says when two people die relatively close together, inevitably a third one is around the corner. And I've always heard this one growing up when like two celebrities would die close to each other. Someone always would be like, that's two.
Who's next?
Who's next? You know? But it doesn't.
Prince David Bowie and one other person.
Exactly. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any rules about who it is or any rule. Like, if two celebrities dies, does that mean one of my cousins is next? Or does it have to be another celebrity? You know, if it's two friends, does that mean
to be
the third
official,
one's...
it has to be another celebrity.
I think so. I think we have to live in these groups.
Yeah.
You know, and what's the time frame? What's close? If two people die within 2 weeks of each other, how far until you can stop being worried about it? You know? I don't know. Number 7, the empty rocking chair. Don't rock the empty rocking chair. This is not like the rocking chair started rocking on its own, but apparently do not ever set an empty rocking chair into motion because that is associated with death. And I don't like this one because I have done that every time I see a rocking chair.
How many times? How many people have we killed at Cracker Barrel?
How many people have we murdered at Oh God. And I don't even have like the why of this one. This one just feels like someone's grandma was like, y'all cut that out.
Yeah.
You know, and then made something up. Stop it. Someone's gonna die.
Kids.
You know, and then number 8, the Death Watch beetle. This is European folklore and history. So there is an insect that's literally called the Death Watch beetle. And they make this ticking sound. These beetles live in the woods and they can produce this ticking, tapping, clicking sound. So whenever you hear this sound coming from the woods whilst someone in your home is sick, I hate to tell you, but this bug is essentially given the deathbed vigil. I'm so sorry.
You know who else has that beetle?
No.
Practical Magic.
Shit. I've never seen it. Soon that will be remedied.
Yep.
I have heard a really loud ticking, clicking sound before.
Stop.
And
stop. Don't.
This was like many years ago. Am I safe now?
I don't know.
But I looked for the source and I found a bug that was caught in a spider's web. Or like a cobweb, I guess. Spider had gone. But a bug was caught and it was just making this clicking noise every once in a while, I guess. But it was so loud because the bug itself was like 2 grains of rice. I don't know a bean. It was the size of a bean. I don't know. But the click it made was so loud. And if I would have known what I know now then, I would have been very disgusted. Number 9, the invisible bell. So this is also a Welsh folk tradition that you hear a bell, but there's not a bell. Someone from the other side is ringing in your for whom does the bell tolleth?
People on the other side need to mind their own business and not be calling me.
Here's the thing. Don't tell me when it's about to happen. but there's absolutely a something about a bell ringing itself, because it didn't say, it's not like when you hear a baby crying, woo, a bell ringing is so specific to me. It feels very underworld. The funeral before the funeral. So in Welsh folklore, I don't know why I got so many of the Welsh. Welsh love the death.
Yeah.
You enter into a funeral procession when you're, on the road. Have you ever accidentally got into entering into a funeral procession? You will. It marks you because no one has died yet.
You're
not supposed to be there. So,
oh no, that's why they drive with their lights on, bro.
There's meaning attached to when people enter into these processions. They've got the over here we have like cop escorts usually, but if you enter one, it is said to not only mark you, but you will experience a phantom procession again shortly before your death. So oops, I accidentally cut in front of this procession and now I'm in it. Oops. And then at some point, very soon, you'll be walking home at night. You'll see what appears to be a funeral procession. And maybe you'll watch it pass. Maybe you won't think anything about it, but that procession, my friend, is for you.
And then you'll get hit by a bus immediately.
Yeah, you'll be like, wow, look at that procession.
I hate that one a lot. I hate that.
There's one that's really short here, and it's just the cow. So one recorded superstition out of Appalachian folklore is that if a cow moos after dark, someone will die. Okay. A West Virginia folk belief, dreaming of a woman with messy and disheveled hair. Apparently, someone in your immediate family will die. In some of these accounts, the woman who appears in the dream says, "I am the omen." Sometimes she doesn't, but it has happened more than once, and that freaks me out.
Just don't want anybody to appear and say shit to me. Just don't.
There is something called telling the bees in European and some American folk traditions, preserved now within specifically Appalachia. There isn't one death omen, but there is a death custom. And I think this is kind of beautiful. There are folk traditions in which the household bees have to be informed when someone in the family dies. So telling the bees could involve approaching the hives and literally announcing the death to those bees. Different versions of the tradition include informing the bees about other important family or household events. And I like that this is like everyone's grieving, everyone's sad, or, arrangements still have to be made. And then somebody just goes, "Oh shit, I gotta go tell the bees." But it's a nice little way to remember. And I didn't see with that. Have you, in what you have heard about telling the bees, is there like some form of helping to usher the deceased with the bees? Or is it just like you are letting nature know and they are the messengers that this thing has happened?
I've heard different things because isn't there a death deity who hangs out with bees? Maybe I'm remembering a story I read. I don't know.
No.
But I know about telling the bees. You got to tell the bees when somebody's born or when they die and when they're moving and they're going to be gone. Or if somebody's new, you have to introduce them.
They are the keepers, and they like to keep little timesheets. They like to know of these things that happen. I like that bees are Virgos. And of course, as we have discussed recently, 3 knocks, an unexplained knocking, has a tie that someone, and maybe everyone, in this house will die. But have you yourself ever encountered any death omens? I see. I kind of what?
I know about 2.
Give it
Okay, first, because I used to be an occupational therapy assistant and I worked in a what was it called? It wasn't skilled nursing. It was like a rehab facility, like ortho rehab after you get your hip done or whatever. And you were not well enough to go home, but you were better enough that the hospital can't keep you. It was mainly, it exists because of insurance. So, but a lot of the time, it wasn't just ortho. That's just mostly who we saw. Some people were just genuinely ill. And they were like, yeah, there's this thing called the butterfly. I don't remember what it was, but it's where the blood pools in your back, like a real soon after that. Like it's shaped like a butterfly on your back. It's like bruising, and then real soon after that, they'll die. So that's
Is there like a medical reason for that? Like, why does it look that way?
So it's probably just because they have heart failure. It's my guess. I don't know. And the second one, you reminded me of a story my grandmother told me about a bird. She said that one got into her neighbor's house and they were rushing around, and some, like, the neighbor was like, what is it? What is it? And my grandmother's mom was like, it's a bat. It's a bat. And my grandmother said she remembered saying, no, it's a bird. But her mom was like, no, it's a bat. Go outside. Because if it was a bird, it meant somebody in the house was going to die. And a bat was less scary.
It only counts if we believe it.
Yeah.
It's the power of superstition, though. I mean, because a lot of these, you can see the basis of what they come from. You can see, and especially if we're talking going way, way, way back through human years, there's not much going on. So when someone is sick in the house and you're worried about it, and back when you're going to like maybe die because you got the cold, you're going to notice if a cow moos after midnight and then someone dies. Like, you're going to notice these things. And then if they ever happen again with other people, they're like, oh, fuck, Cindy said the same thing. Yeah.
Have you heard of feather crowns?
Like a crown of feathers?
Kind of. It's this thing that happens in your pillow. And
that's what you were talking. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was hair, but it's not. It's pillows. Although hair is involved. There are these. Well, if you sleep on a feather pillow, it can make these circles that look like a little, like, halo, kind of.
Okay.
That's formed from feathers in your hair while weaving it into a circle. And some people say it's an omen of death, but some people say it's an omen of witchcraft. And if you make one and put it in the pillow, then it might kill that person. Witchcraft!
If you make one and put it in the pillow.
Or maybe not make it, but like you get one, you find one.
Good to know. I'm adding to my list of scary witchcrafts. Yeah. To do.
That means you gotta sleep on pillows, though, which is not as nice as people think. Because sooner or later, those pillows are gonna poke out and poke you in the face. I used to sleep on one when I was a kid.
I don't like feather or anything because it stabs you. And then my brain,
like, mites is what I think about.
I think of how many other people did this thing stab before it stabbed me.
Ew.
Sorry.
I don't like that.
Sorry, everybody. Well, let's temper this. Except I don't know if we're tempering it at all. With some good old listener stories. Okay, guys, listen. Kim and I just went on a harrowing adventure of our own.
We're sweating so much.
We're going to calm down with some spooky stories. You know what's really spooky? Trying to figure out what the hell a real ID is for flying. Ooh.
Terror. and how to get one as a woman.
What am I going to do with my car when I fly? Ooh. Yeah.
Did you get trip insurance? Ah!
All right, so let's go to something. Let's keep the adrenaline up, shall we? And I know you asked.
Let's go more traditionally scary.
Let's go traditionally scary. I will once again flip, unless you just have. What's your favorite color? Go.
Blue.
Blue. That's closer to purple, so I'll be yellow and you be purple. How's that? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is that?
I thought you were flipping something, and I was like, sounds good to me.
I can't flip.
I'm
All right.
I'm about to be fried.
I am fried right now. So, with that said, all I have to do is read and try not to screw it up, but y'all know how that goes. Okay. Our first story is from Katie. I am a volunteer for a local hospice. They have a NODA program, NODA program. It stands for No One Dies Alone. We sit vigil with the patients in their last 24 to 72 hours, usually overnights, so loved ones can get a break and feel confident that someone is there with them when they can't be. Last Friday, I was the only volunteer available that night and was scheduled for the midnight to 2 a.m. shift. The patient was the first male patient I had since I started volunteering. When I got there, I told the nurse I would be there until 2 a.m. She said she didn't think he would make it to 2. When we get an assignment, sometimes we're told about the patient's likes, dislikes, religion, etc. And I learned that Jay, that's what we'll call him, liked jazz, especially Diana Krall, Sarah Vaughan, and Julie London. So I played Diana Krall songs for him. Am I saying that right? Krall songs for him? From my phone. If they are religious, I look for prayer for the dying from their practice. So here's what happened with Jay. Around 1:30, I noted that he was a little uncomfortable and asked the nurse when he was due for his medication. She came in, gave him his meds, and she said, "Old gangster Jay." I jokingly asked if he was a troublemaker, and she just told me of a few of his antics. Nothing mean, just typical old man stuff. After she said that, I felt a strong negative energy near my left side trying to cling to me. I left at 2 a.m. and this energy was still with me. I usually do a quick energy cleanse when I leave spaces like that, nursing homes, hospitals, cemeteries, and firmly state that no hitchhikers are allowed. I like that. That's good phrasing. I'm going to steal that. This one wasn't listening. I meditated longer than usual, texted 2 of my sons, hoping that they were awake, and called on my spirit my guides, and the spirit of my mom. My black cat Pitch, aka 4 pounds of fury, and
That's
my
a good
mom's
name for a black cat.
Pitch Black, and my mom's black dog Schwartz to help me get rid of this. We've got like a theme here. Luckily, when I got home, my youngest son was awake. I knocked on the window and asked him to bring me incense and a match. I didn't want to bring this thing into my home. He brought me the stuff and I cleansed myself head to toe, my Noda bag and contents, and the inside of my car. I cleaned that, my bag, and the inside of my car. I finally felt safe enough to go inside. Once in my room, I grabbed my trusty elephant bell and rang it for 5+ minutes to clear the space. The next day, I got a text from my NODA lead telling me that my patient had crossed over around 6 a.m. And I said, yeah, I figured. I told her that something weird happened during the vigil and it wasn't a good experience. She knows me and we've talked woo-woo stuff in the past. She wanted to know more about my experience, and I'll be telling her about it soon. I told her that I believe that this came from the patient and not from the building or staff. Number 2, another late night vigil, 4 to 6 a.m. When I entered the building, I felt an energy walking in with me, like they were waiting for me to let them in. Nothing negative at all. I felt like they were supposed to be there. I felt them with me in the elevator, and I got the impression that they were there to guide the person to the other side. Our patient crossed over at 9 a.m. When I was young, I could see spirits. Nowadays, I sense them only and see residual spirits occasionally. Can I interject and say, if I still have to use an elevator when I'm a ghost,
I was going to say,
I quit.
Imagine having to wait for an elevator as a ghost.
Ghostly form, like, God damn it, I got to get there.
But if you don't, maybe they were new.
Yeah, maybe they hadn't quite learned, they hadn't got the whole, like, flying thing down yet? When I was 16, my paternal grandma passed away. Her house was in Indiana, and we would go over there on the weekends to clean out her house and prepare it for sale. Grandma passed away in the back bedroom. We were storing stuff to be donated in the front bedroom. One day, we were all working in the basement, and I was sent upstairs to put something into the front room. As soon as I got to the hallway, I had a tingling feeling all over, and I did not want to walk down the hall because I would have to walk past the back bedroom. I got up the courage to race to the front room, and I must have stood there for 5 minutes, not wanting to leave and be near Grandma's room again. I raced back down again. Sorry, I'm getting the mental image of just like, okay, shit, go.
Yeah.
Raced back down the hallway to the kitchen and looked down. I raced again back down the hall to the kitchen and looked down the hall and saw my grandma peeking around the corner at me. I sat on the basement stairs for a long time, hoping no one would ask me what took so long. In 2022, my father-in-law crossed over from complications from Alzheimer's. I got the call about 8 p.m. That night, just before I got ready for bed, I heard a little boy's voice say from the outside window, "Hey, can I come in?" Absolutely the fuck no.
not.
I put my crystals on the windowsill and sprinkled my protection salt there. And in the middle of the night, I woke up suddenly, and there was the face. And there was the face of an old man with a beard hovering over my face, trying to suck my life force from me. I screamed out no, and it vanished. You know what? Here's the thing, though. At least the little boy asked. You know? At least they said, "Can I come in?" You can say, "Fuck you."
No.
No.
The next story is from our mod, Annika. I hope it's Annika. If it's Anika, then tell me. At our old house on Thomas Road, my brother had this imaginary friend. Already, okay. Why are they always creeping on kids?
They see the other side.
I think my sister had an imaginary friend. I did not.
I
Imaginary.
thought you were going to say, my sister had an American friend.
He called this imaginary friend See-Through Man. I would walk into his room and he'd be playing, and I would ask, "Who are you playing with?" He would say, "See-Through Man," and point. I can't recall if he ever described what See-Through Man looked like. I bet he's see-through.
Something tells me.
I remember also during this time having a horrible time at night. I would lie awake at night staring down at my open door, which faced the hallway to his room. I would never quite see anything, but I knew something was there lurking. I would scream bloody murder and wake up my parents. Oh.
Also, poor your parents.
I know. That's what I was
woken
thinking.
up in the middle of
By your child screaming. None of this made any logical sense then, but now, nearly 30 years later, I am piecing two and two together. Our house was this older 50s style rambler that had an old unfinished and partially finished basement, including a filled-in well. Oh no.
Sick.
I hate a well.
You know there's a body in that, baby. You know it.
I remember at times going to the well and playing with my dolls. It's really quite strange that I would pick bare concrete to play dolls in over my own bedroom. Over time, See-Through Man went away, and so did my night terrors, right around the same time. I'm pretty sure that house was haunted, or it possibly was an old ancestor checking in on us. We will never know.
Aw, that's sweet. If it's that one. If it's not, then it's less sweet. So I had an imaginary friend as a kid named Mason, apparently.
Oh, I remember hearing about this.
And I am convinced that he was a ghost.
Didn't you see him?
I see. So the thing is, I was very little, so I don't have actual memory. I have more like feelings, and I picture like a teenage boy, and he was in very 90s like gear, and it was the 90s, so it makes sense. But he was in very like 90s gear with like the kind of beat up jeans and like a striped shirt and like kind of shaggy hair. And that's just all I remember. It was never spooky, but like I would ask my parents to set an extra place table. And I would say, please don't sit on Mason.
That's
Which
nice.
feels like a weird name to pick, you know, if I was to just make
You
it
didn't
up.
pick it. It was Mason who picked it. It was Mason's name.
Yeah. I feel like if I picked it, it would be like, don't sit on Mr.
Todd.
Tootsie's. Todd. Yes. I would have just said Todd. I have a story from Abby, who
Hi, Abby.
as you say, you got to meet at this recent. I almost said South by Southwest, like you did. Not there. Abby, this first story is sweet, but it's a few stories in one, so bear with me. My grandpa passed away in October of 2013. 2 years later, I had my first son in October of 2015. I was laying in my bed about a few days after I had my son, and had just got home. My son was in his crib. My room used to be my grandparents'. My room suddenly got cold and I was hit with a sharp smell of Barbasol shaving cream and Asper cream and an arthritis cream. This was a very distinct smell, especially when put together, which is exactly what my grandpa smelled like. I sat up and looked over at my son's crib. I suddenly have a gust of air hit me. Then it was gone as fast as it came. That's sweet.
I know that.
Also,
smell.
I grew up, my dad uses that a lot on himself, and I grew up calling that old man juice because he would put it on and he would reek of it. And I'd be like, you got that old man juice on? Anyway, fast forward to May 14th, 2017. It would have been my grandpa's birthday. My son, who was a little over a year, randomly started whistling. He had never whistled before. My grandpa was a whistler. Any song he knew, he whistled. I thought it might have been a coincidence, but he did it a couple times that day and never did it again until he was about 3 when we were teaching him how to. Get this part. My youngest son did the exact same thing. Same age, whistled on my grandpa's birthday. Never again until he was older. Now later, on my oldest son, a month before he turned 2 on my grandma's birthday, we were in bed and he kept giggling and then said bye-bye. I told him it was night-night time and it was time to lay down. And I asked him who he had said bye-bye to. He said Pawpaw, which is what I called my grandpa. Remember, I had my son 2 years after my grandpa passed. I still don't know if it's a coincidence or not. I have plenty of other stories not involving the spirit of my grandfather, but this is my often more reoccurring event that would happen. My next story is more recent. This happened in July 2025. I was home alone, normally with my kids and husband. Normally my kids and husband would be home since it was summer, but my kids were spending the night at my mom's and my husband was at work. I went to sleep around 7, and I'm a restless sleeper as it is. I have a cat and a dog who enjoy laying in bed with me. Now, since I was home alone, I got to sprawl out on my California king-size bed. I slept until about 12 p.m., then woke up the first time, or so I thought. I sit up, I go to get off my bed, and I turn, and I am startled by the fact that I'm looking at myself sleeping on my bed. I'm terrified because I don't know what's going on. Then I realize I'm stuck standing there and looking at myself. And at the bottom of my husband... No? And at the bottom of my bed is my cat. I'm so sorry. At the bottom of my bed is my cat and dog laying down, and sitting beside me in crisscross applesauce fashion was a figure. Now, I say figure because it looked human, but also did not. It was distorted, looked as if it was wearing a pink shirt and had blonde, stringy hair. It was petting my dog. I panicked. I turned and I saw what I believed to be a portal, but also looked like a mirror beside my bed. It was oblong, opaque, with a light blue hue around it. I turned and looked back at my bed, and the figure looked right through me and I turned to look back at my bed, and the figure looked at me through the stringy hair, but I saw no face.
I hate everything you're saying. Also, she's gonna astrally project and freak out.
She's gonna freak out. She's gonna freak out. Next thing I know, I gasp and wake up. I sit up. This time I'm actually awake. My cat and dog were in the exact same spots where they were. In my nightmare, I'm still not sure what it was or what happened. It hasn't happened again, but we do occasionally have slight activity in our house. Ew.
Abby, wake up.
See,
I hate that trope in shows where they're like, this is your sign that you're dreaming, wake up. Like that scene from Buffy.
I always think it's directed at me.
I hate it. I hate it. I
don't
hate
like
that.
it. I don't like it.
Shut up.
Like
Just let me sleep. I'm asleep. I'm trying to sleep. Just let me sleep.
Just go away. I don't
hate
like
that scares me though, that thought.
What? The wake up?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And what I don't like about dreams like that, what she just described, was like the waking up and not knowing, because then it's like, how are you ever sure? I don't know. Freaks
One
me
of
out.
my recurring dreams is like that, and it scares the shit out of me.
I don't like it.
I hate it.
I don't like it.
So this is from Shal, pronounced like Shal. I've been listening to y'all's podcast for a bit and had a fun, spooky story or two for y'all. The first one's a spirit encounter, but I wouldn't say it's spooky or scary. The second one may be slightly scary or chilling. So my grandma, for a little backstory, was always one to know about ghosts and spirits following her. Well, as a child, she would often tell my brother and me about Herman. He was a friendly ghost and almost childlike. He would often play with the pots and pans. Once my grandma would hear him playing with them, she'd yell, "Herman!" in a scolding, mother-like tone, and everything would stop and go back in its place.
Oh, shit!
Herman would follow her wherever she lived. Thinking back on it, maybe it was her deceased 8-year-old daughter, Casey, playing with them. Playing with Herman or playing with the pots and pans? Either way. Anyways, so my experience with a spirit in her house wasn't with Herman, but my grandpa, her husband. He passed away in November of 2017, exactly 2 weeks after his dog Mac was put down. Oh, that's so sad.
That is sad.
It took me a while to feel comfortable enough to spend the night over there again, as I felt both Mac and Grandpa's presence still there. One night in 2018, I forget the month, I went to sleep in Grandpa's bedroom. They slept in the same room and same bed, but had different bedrooms. I don't know why. I know why.
My
Grandma was a bit
grandparents did
kooky.
that too.
I woke up around 2-ish to see a figure that looked like my grandpa's torso walking, or more like gliding, across the hall to go from the bedroom to the kitchen, as he would often do to smoke a cigarette. And a couple minutes later, I felt a slightly wet thing touch my toes, along with an almost huff or sneeze from my dog, as if Mac walked in and
Oh.
smelled my feet, as he would often do, because, he's a dog.
Yeah. Aw.
After about 5 minutes, I saw my grandpa walk across the hall again, not forgetting to stop at the door to make sure I was okay. I told my grandma this the next morning, and she confirmed that he was still there and would often pull little tricks just as if he were still alive.
That's sweet. I also like that you're a ghost and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go have my little kitchen sig.
Another paranormal thing I had happen. Sorry, I know, a long message, but this one felt like a good one for you all to read as well. Was a couple Christmases ago. I'm from Ohio. There's quite a bit of that's Cherokee land. Well, not but 5 minutes from my dad's house is what my brother and I used to call the hunting grounds. They do call it the hunting grounds, not used to.
Oh.
It's not actually used for hunting as much as for farmland, but we call it this for what lurks there. I don't like when things lurk.
A lurker? Don't be a lurker.
This land was an old Cherokee reserve until bought out by farmers. My brother has been there before with his ex-girlfriend, who is Wiccan. My brother and I went out that way for funsies one night on a new moon around Christmas time, as there are stories of voodoo rituals and human sacrifices performed on the land.
Oh,
That
Jesus.
sounds like satanic panic stuff.
Yeah.
When we got near the area, we could feel the presence of evil spirits, overwhelming darkness for a while. When we got near the area, we could feel the presence of evil spirits, overwhelming darkness for lack of a better word. My stomach was a pit, my throat had a huge lump, and I felt like I was the next for sacrifice. I could almost mentally see these spirits lurking in the darkness behind the trees. I immediately felt like I needed to call upon one of my deities. I'm Greco-pagan. And something about it said Athena, so I quickly and out loud asked her to protect my car, and my brother and I both saw the roof of my car just turn an almost solid bright white yellow, as if someone turned on a light, and this feeling of calm and happiness just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I can almost still see this in my head. I could mentally see these evil spirits retreating out of fear, but also still slightly watching from afar.
They were like, "Oh shit!" But I'm still looking.
Because they're little dickheads.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, my brother visited there before with his ex. When they did so, they had an actual encounter with the witch doctor, in quotes, that performs the human sacrifices. They saw this witch doctor cut open a human and grab out his heart. There was a person for each limb as to be able to easily hold him down.
Ew.
After the person was sacrificed, they proceeded to hurry up and get out of there.
But they stayed for the show. Yeah.
However, they weren't expecting the witch doctor to appear in front of the car with his ritual knife, or athame, ready to sacrifice again. They ran him over, except he went completely through the car, which scared them even more, of course.
Yeah, dude, it's a ghost. Do you think he was just like
clear until the very end?
Brother Athena coming through.
Yeah.
Wow.
All hail Athena.
Shit. What?
She's badass.
I'm picturing the Zendaya version of Athena from the new Odyssey movie, which I just saw.
Oh. I'm excited to see that.
It was a 3-hour movie, dude. I liked it. I liked the flick, but it was very long. And Robert Pattinson's in it. You know I love him. Although I am pissed off he spoke in an American accent. Don't do that.
And John Bernthal is in it. I'm excited for that.
Who's that?
The Punisher.
Duh. Okay. It's Shane from The Walking Dead. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? My dad, and this is not a critique. We were talking about the different splay of accents, you know, because it was like there were British people doing American, and then there was like other accents and stuff. And he was like, and there's old John Barrett, whatever his name is. Sorry, he was like just not changing a thing. That's it. You know how he was just like, well, hell, I guess here we got Athena. You see, he was just like talking very Greek or whatever, but he was still being.
That might bother me.
Somebody
was like, I saw somebody complain about there being a drawl. In the Odyssey, and I'm like,
whatever. You know what?
That doesn't belong.
It's fine it was fine.
It's a cartoon, sir.
Yeah,
Shout out Chrissy Chula.
I had my popcorn. I had my my Butterfinger bites. I was happy. Mm-hmm.
Do you pour them in the same container?
Sometimes. It depends on what it is. If it's chunky enough, like a Butterfinger bite, yeah. I don't do that M&M shit in popcorn, though, because they're too tiny. Then they all go to the bottom. And then you've got a bunch of chocolate-covered kernels that you can't enjoy.
I thought you were going to say because M&Ms are gross.
I don't mind an M&M. They're fine. I know you don't like them, yeah?
The chocolates taste nasty to me.
Well, it's that doo-doo Hershey chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Which I hate. Because I'm a chocolate snob.
Oh, dude. I want some chocolate. Okay, our next story is from Joy. Our next story comes to us from Joy. Story number 1. Fresh out of high school and still full of teen rebellion. I don't know why I'm doing this voice. I chose to go on a volunteer mission trip to Guatemala instead of college. 10 out of 10 decision. There, I worked overnight in a facility for malnourished, that is a word that trips me up, malnourished infants. The facility had massive walls and armed guards. We were in a cartel-heavy area and would hear gunfire sporadically throughout the night. The babies cried constantly. We fed them with syringes every 2 hours, then rocked them for 2 more. One night I was holding a new arrival who wanted more formula and wouldn't stop wailing. I was pacing past a window overlooking the courtyard. From the corner of my eye, I saw a white shadow walk from around the fountain to a flower bed and disappear. Immediately, I told the duty nurse, thinking someone had gotten in. She said it was nothing to worry about, but it wasn't a living person. They like to think it's a mother checking on the crying child because they only ever see it when a new baby arrives. I'm sorry if someone says, "Don't worry about it, it's not a living person." I'm worried about it.
Yeah.
I am then worried about it. Story number 2. This story briefly mentions a drug overdose. Let's see. In high school, I had an on-again, off-again boyfriend. Let's just call him Ryan for the sake of simplicity. I like to think that his name's really Ryan. Okay. At the time of this experience, I was married with young children. It would have been almost 10 years since we last spoke. One night, I had a dream about Ryan. Ryan and I were sitting on the couch in my living room. He turned to look at me and said, "You know I always loved you, right? I'm sorry I can't stay. You're going to be okay, though." My dream self asked him what he meant and if he would come back, and he said, "I'm not sure if I'll visit often, but I'll be around." He gave me a big hug, and I woke up. It was such a strange dream. I felt like I just had to tell Ryan, so I messaged a mutual friend to see if he still knew if I could still get a hold of him. Immediately, my friend called. 4 or 5 days earlier, Ryan had an overdose. He was found alive and had been in the hospital on life support, but his parents had made the decision to remove him the day before. I have no doubt that he came to say goodbye. Dude, that one got to me. Story number 3. My Aunt Nancy and Dad's youngest sister had a long and difficult battle with lung cancer that she eventually succumbed to. She was a wild card of a person. I always remember her at family gatherings with a red Solo cup in one hand and a cigarette in the other, slinging profanity-laced insults/jokes at anyone around. She was just a hilarious and fun person. One night, not too long ago, I had a dream where we were at a park that we always had family gatherings at. My Aunt Nancy and I were sitting at a picnic table. She had her red Solo cup in one hand, flicking her cigarette ash with the other, and Dream Me told her, "Everyone misses you, a lot." She said, "I know, I miss them too." I could smell her cigarette as it was burning. She finishes her drink, stubbed out the cigarette, and stands up and said, "Tell everyone I love them," and started to walk away. Dream Me asked her, "Will you come and visit sometime?" She turned to look at me and said, "We'll see." And at that point, I woke up. The dream was so vivid, I immediately wrote it all down. I love that.
Me too.
I love that you can still be cheeky.
Cool
Story number 4.
Even after death.
Even after death, you can... Dude, that's the fucking move. When you show up to people and they're like, "Are you okay?" And they're all, "Are we going to see you again?" Just be like, "Maybe, brother," and walk off. That's amazing. Both sets of my grandparents have long since passed, and none of my kids got the chance to meet any of them. The day I found out I was pregnant with my youngest, an aunt on my mom's side, Sandy, passed away. The week after he was born, I had a dream there was a knock on the front door. At the door was my Aunt Sandy, my mom's parents, and my dad's aunt. My aunt told me that they were here to see the baby. He was in the bassinet in the living room, so they all crowded around looking at him. Dream Me looked over at my dad's dad and said, "We named him Theodore because of you. I don't remember much about you, but I remember naps in your chair." My grandpa laughed. At that point, Aunt Sandy said, "We just wanted to come see him. He's precious." And they all began to walk out of the door. Dream Me said, "You can always come visit. I'd love to see you again." Aunt Sandy smiled and said, "We know you would." As the door was closing, I woke up. I have no idea if those experiences were vivid dreams, ancestral magic, or something else entirely. But if anyone has any ideas or suggestions, I would love some guidance. Look into contact dreams. You sound like you are somebody who's primed and ready to accept contact dreams, which is pretty cool.
I like that.
Yeah, that's sweet. Story number 5. This last story is a little different from the rest, because while I'm a part of it, I have no memory of it. This was written in my baby book by my dad.
Okay.
My dad's dad died when I was 3 years old, and this story takes place 3 months later. So here's what was written in the baby book, I assume. Joy, the writer of this story, Joy came up to me today and told me, you don't have to be sad when people die, because when they die, their spirit goes into the people who love them and they become a part of you, so they are never fully gone. So, Daddy, when I die, you don't have to cry. I asked her who told her this. She said Grandpa told me. He came and told me. I asked her what she meant by he came and told her, and she said in the living room on his chair. He said to tell you.
I don't know how I
like
feel
that.
about that.
It's sweet, but as a parent, I would be freaking out.
Yeah, I don't want to hear my kids say when I die.
Sure. That's, yeah.
You
I don't
can
wanna...
whatever. That's
yeah, when I die, don't worry, when I'm dead. You're like,
if everything except for that was sweet.
Sure.
But I don't want to hear my child say, when I die, then you can.
Yeah, implying that I'm still here. Yeah. I like to think that didn't mean anything. It just meant I'm a kid who doesn't understand how this works yet. Or should
Have you
work.
seen those scary ass things though, where they're the
demons?
No. That's where they're people are like, my kid said this terrifying thing, like my other family, blah, 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 died in a car fire or something.
Oh, like how young kids remember like old lives and stuff. Yeah.
That terrifies me.
I like those.
It bothers me so much.
I'm going to start doing that to you.
Great. This story's from Bobby. Back in the early to mid-90s, we lived in a second-floor apartment. My mom, brother, sister, and myself. Me being the oldest, around 13. Hey, shout out to the oldest kid. And my sister, the youngest, about 11. My poor brother stuck in the middle.
Youngest kid! Sorry.
When we moved in, the other kids around the complex told us the story of a little girl burning to death in the apartment across from ours and our section being haunted.
Fun.
Oh my God. I thought they were full of shit. The older adults and newly adulted
the newly minted adult.
Yeah. Confirmed that yes, there was a little girl who died in a fire back in 1986. Her name was Cynthia and she was 2 years old.
Oh.
The fire was intentionally set by her mom's boyfriend. Holy crap, how sad was that? Jesus Christ. After living there a while, little things would happen. Things would be found in weird places. We would say, Cynthia, stop messing around, and laugh whenever these little things would happen. I had a tin, like a cookie tin but square, that had cassette tapes in it. Cassette tapes. On more than one occasion, I found it in the utility room, the room with the water heater and fuse box, with my cassettes dumped on the floor.
Oh.
I would always yell at my brother for taking them, but he would swear he didn't do it.
I really want to know what cassette tapes we're talking.
Me too. Oh, I see something I love. Okay. One time I found the tin in the utility room with the bottom punched out and the tapes dumped. I was really mad. I laid into my brother. He again denied it. I didn't touch your shit. Leave me alone. It was probably Cynthia.
Butthole! Yeah.
There was one instance that I actually saw something. It was a hot night. I was laying on the floor by the open balcony watching Star Trek The Next Generation. Trekkies!
Is that what you saw?
Yes. I could hear my mom outside downstairs on the lawn laughing and talking to one of her friends. My brother and sister were outside playing or something. It went quiet for a minute. Suddenly, the screen door opened to the front door, and my mom walked in, only something was off. She was moving slightly weird, just a bit different than what she normally would, and her eyes were off, like slightly red with a light glow. That's horrific.
My stomach just tightened out of like uncomfortableness so much that I burped
worse.
into the mic. Sorry.
She stopped and looked at me. I pulled a sheet off the couch onto myself. She said, "What the hell are you doing awake?" Then I heard my mom say something outside and start laughing. I did not break eye contact with my mom. She moved her eyes to look at the balcony door and then back to me. "Take your ass to sleep," she said. My response was, "Okay." Then she turned and walked down the hallway into the utility room. I just laid there super still. About a half hour later, my mom came in from outside. I just looked at her, apparently like I looked scared or something. "You think?" She asked what was wrong. I asked her if she just came in about 30 minutes ago. She said no, she'd been outside for the last 2 hours, and again asked if something was wrong. I said no, I just thought you already came in. I don't know what the fuck the entity was, but I am not convinced it had anything to do with Cynthia. We lived there about another year and then moved. Nothing much really happened in the rest of our time there.
What?
I
was
hate that scary mom.
What was that?
That was a fucking mimic. I hate it.
That was a fucking mimic. That wasn't
I
even
hate
a
it.
ghost, dude.
I hate it.
Ew.
And it was
Bro,
mean mommy.
I know how to handle ghosts. I'm okay with that. That shit, though, that's terrifying.
I don't know how to do any of that shit. I don't want any of it.
Ew.
I hate it. Ugh, I hate that.
Brother, when we're together one of these upcoming times that we're
When we
together,
go to the farm. When we go to the farm.
When we go to the
You
farm.
meet Mrs. Kearns.
One of our... What's that?
That is a lady who lived down the road.
Are you going to tell me about it when we're there?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah! Me! I was going to say I'm going to turn into a mimic and scare you, but now it's too real. It feels too scary.
I would... Don't. Don't do that.
No! Okay, all right. Oh, shit.
Oh, that was our last story.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck, Charlie? Why did you make that the last story?
That's the one you all have to go to bed with now.
I don't like it.
Well,
I don't like that. And it was mean and doing mom words at them.
Yeah. Don't be mean. Don't do mom words. Take your ass to bed. I was going to say something threatening, but I don't because I don't want her showing up in my dreams tonight. So never mind. That's it, guys. We are the Witch Bitch Amateur Hour. We have been the Witch Bitch Spooky Hour. Goodbye.
Oh, wait. Okay, is it still going?
Yeah.
Because we missed a couple weeks of July, the prints are still going for a couple more weeks.
Oh.
So if you missed it, grab yours.
If you have the opposite of buyer's remorse, where you don't buy something and regret it, they're still up. Go to it.
Get it.
Get it.
Also, I added spellcrafting dice that are special edition Waba ones, and they're black and they're fucking cool.
Yeah, and you made them with your handballs, and you can roll them for you know what I said. We did an episode once where we played with spell dice. So if you enjoyed that, where you could subtract things, which makes me laugh every time. I don't know why.
I showed you something. I mean, I didn't show it to you, but I did something after I showed you. There's a little bean And a little cauldron.
Cute.
It is very cute. I'm very happy with it. Anyway, thanks for the stories, everyone. Bobby, I am sad that I read that story and that I had to have that in my brain. Thanks.
Yeah. If you would like your story on the Witch Bitch Amateur Hour, we're going to have another Spookysode in 10 episodes, or Halloween, whatever comes first. I don't know yet. Send them in to which... My stomach's tightening, and it's making me burp. I'm sorry.
Waba Podcast.
There you go. Waba Podcast. What did I say?
You said which?
Send it to wabapodcast@gmail.com. Put spooky somewhere in the title so we can see it. And seriously, I've been seeing a lot of stories come in that say things like, "Oh, I didn't know if this was spooky enough to send in," or
"Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it, please. We want them. Give it to us. And if it has to do with mimics, I guess even better, dude. Because
because it's fun to be scared, sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of. I don't like that I can't see what's behind me right now.
Yeah, it's the desert. You're in the open desert. It's fine.
But what's behind this curtain? I don't know.
Dude,
it's
fucking your own head
portal
pops out of it. Yeah.
I hate everything you just said. Oh my God, I hate that so much.
All right, bye. I'm out of here. I gotta go.
Okay, bye. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Okay.
Oh my God. That was so startling.
Sorry. Sorry.
I've been doing that, but I would hit mute first.
I forgot that was an option.
Oh my God, that was awesome. You have to put that at the end.